Good afternoon, everyone. We are here for a insight with our intern, Theodosius Zotos, who is our executive intern, and right now he is doing legislative affairs for us. He just finished up with our General Assembly, advocating on issues for the chamber and with the chamber staff. All told, throughout the General Assembly, I think Theodosius and everybody else on the team on total was probably 2,000 bills researched?
Yeah, a lot of bills. You'd be surprised at how many bills go through the General Assembly. It's a lot of work, but very gratifying and definitely enlightening experience, seeing what goes through the General Assembly and kind of learn a little bit more hands-on the process of bills and how they go through and going to committees and being voted on and going up to the president and then the speaker. So it's definitely a process, and kind of seeing how that happens and tracking it as it goes through was definitely an enlightening experience.
Theodosius also helped with our trip to D.C. with the Regional Transportation Action Committee, where we actually talked to Congressman Whitman, Congressman Bratt, and Senator Kane about regional transportation issues, particularly the I-95 corridor. As some of you may know that are tuning in, by 2040, half of Virginia's population will live in the city of Fredericksburg and north of it. And so we're really trying to be as proactive as possible in advocating for those. Theodosius, what was your main takeaway from our trip to D.C.?
I had a great time. It was neat going up to D.C. I've been there before, but it was kind of a different experience. Of course, I've seen the Capitol, but it was awesome actually getting inside to go inside the Capitol. It was my first time ever doing that. And actually being kind of invited into the conversation, I felt engaged and felt appreciated. I know some of our members that were on the Regional Transportation Action Committee. We all got together and had a nice dinner afterwards. So it was really kind of a great experience to go in and be a part of that conversation and kind of learn firsthand as well, kind of things that are affecting our economy and looking forward, and kind of just learning about the statistics and things and looking forward. So it's really interesting to kind of be brought to the table and kind of just learn from there. So I really had a great time, especially going to D.C. I always love going to D.C.
Yeah, it was interesting. When we got there, we got off our bus and we actually were greeted by a member of Congressman Whitman's staff who took us in a side staff door. And so it was pretty cool to go in through the back entrance, and you're walking down the same hallway as the Speaker of the House and some of those other Senate Majority Leader and Senate Majority Whip and some of those other congressional offices on the way to our meeting with our congressional delegation from this region. Those are the types of experiences that we try to encapsulate in an internship experience here at the Chamber. If you had to rank one of those experiences, which has been your favorite in your time here with us this spring?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I'd have to rank the trip up to D.C. in that top category, as well as the gala. I think that's kind of everyone's highlight, both within the chamber as well as outside in the greater Fredericksburg community and kind of surrounding areas. Gala is kind of the annual event, the kind of culminating experience of celebrating all the accomplishments of the business leaders, kind of our elected officials. Everybody just kind of gets together for one night to have a great time, but also, kind of acknowledge the work of the chamber and the community, and kind of acknowledge as well as specific individuals and present a few awards. So I think it was a great night. Everyone always has a great time, kind of seeing what the theme is for the year, and then just kind of experiencing it in the night, getting to meet so many people. I know that was kind of my highlight, as well as being at the chamber, is meeting so many influential leaders, business leaders, elected officials, just individuals that kind of impact our community for the better. Getting to meet them on a day-to-day basis and kind of get to know them on a first-name basis is always a great experience. So as learning, I always kind of thought it was important to always, it's what you know, but it's also who you know. And so kind of combining that in my chamber experience, I've learned so much, but I've also met so many people. So it's kind of worked hand in hand.
Definitely. I think that goes back also to the whole mindset that if you meet somebody and you don't learn something from them, then you probably didn't talk to them for long enough. And so it was funny when I went out at one point at the Capitol and I was like, where's Theodosius at? And he was talking to a couple of the congressional staffers, and they were all talking about different regional politics and policies and things like that. And that's really where you get real opportunity to learn and engage and kind of see different career paths, career opportunities, those types of things. And so I really think that that's a great opportunity to engage with those individuals to learn.
Definitely. I think being a part of the chamber, there's ample amount of opportunities to kind of just randomly walk up to someone and just learn from them, and just by having a conversation, ask them what they're doing, why do they care about the chamber, why they're involved with the chamber, and it really starts a conversation. Maybe connect with them on LinkedIn or follow them up with an email. I think that's where a lot of learning takes place as well, is kind of after the conversation, keeping that connection and taking that learning a little bit step further.
Now, Theo, how many cups of coffee have you gotten this spring?
For myself, plenty, but not for anyone else.
This is definitely not. We try to make it as academic and as project-oriented as possible here at the Chamber, as opposed to doing something that is, can you go get us the mail and can you find the newspaper and that type of thing. Can you talk to us a little bit about some of the projects that you've worked on and what, were there any that stuck out to you as something that was interesting and cool or exciting or different from, say, an academic project that you may have done at the university?
I think kind of one thing that encapsulates my whole entire chamber experiences is kind of a diverse pool of opportunities to learn and grow. Coming in, knowing a little bit about the chamber, obviously towards the end I've learned so much of what the chamber does. But that kind of right there is what a chamber kind of speaks to what a chamber and their mission statement. There's so many different opportunities and different ways in which the chamber connects with its community and its economy. And so that's consisted of going to participating in several meetings, transportation, government, military affairs, as well as kind of one project that I've kind of liked doing, and as well as appreciated that I had kind of the independent opportunity to look into it and kind of shift the project and kind of tailor to whatever I was interested in. Kind of just tracking the General Assembly this past session, and as well as looking at our delegation for the chamber and kind of tracking their progress, what bills have they passed, and kind of seeing their performance as time kind of has gone on. I'm currently still working on it, creating graphics and kind of looking at the data analytics. I think that's one of my strengths is data analytics. And so Kyle recognized that and wanted to kind of create a project that I could use some of my strengths and some of my interests and kind of apply it in a project. And so he gave me the opportunity to kind of work on that, and I really appreciate it. And it's been a great opportunity. It's I've learned a lot more about how to use Excel and how to look at data in a different way, and it's helped me in terms of my academics back at my university, as well as kind of playing it off and kind of tying in all the aspects. So really had a good time. Like I said, chamber, just so many opportunities to learn in different ways. Whatever you're interested in, there's definitely going to be an opportunity where you can kind of take that interest and apply it, that skill set and apply it to.
Yeah, the legislative scorecard project that Theodosius has been working on is a comprehensive and metrics-based way to evaluate our regional delegation to determine their business friendliness and their voting record on bills that have a positive impact on the economy in this region. And so when you have the ability to then analyze that, you can then go into the next General Assembly and reorient your strategy from a grassroots perspective throughout your advocacy to make a better impact for the businesses that are chamber members. And it's right in our mission and vision to enhance the regional economy and make it as sustainable and viable as possible. And so having that feedback is critical to understanding where we need to go from here.
Exactly.
In meeting with members and also in your work here, what do you think are some of the top policy issues that are facing the Fredericksburg area?
Based on my experience and kind of sitting through the meetings and kind of learning as time goes on, especially kind of analyzing from our delegation what bills have been passed, I think healthcare is definitely at the top. Transportation, definitely. I know it's been kind of a highlight of my experience, obviously because I've been engaged in those specific experiences, such as going to D.C., but yeah, healthcare, transportation, kind of generally economic development, business development, workforce recruitment. Those are kind of the general aspects that I've noticed that are key within our specific region, and it kind of generally speaking as well as important to all regions. I think those should always be at the forefront of looking forward, and I think they've definitely played a huge factor in this year in the General Assembly and kind of in the general aspect of the the economy and the chamber.
Would you, in what ways would you recommend an internship with the chamber to other students at Mary Washington or at the local community colleges or even potentially even some of the high schools?
I would encourage everyone. I think I'm a little biased, obviously, because my experience has been great, but I think it will be a great experience for anyone. There's definitely so many opportunities here at the Chamber for so many different disciplines, majors. Me being in economics and political science is definitely was right in my alleyway, but I think someone that's maybe an English major that's maybe more of a keen writer definitely could have a place here. Someone that's marketing, communications definitely could have a huge impact here. I think there's so many different niches within the Chamber of Commerce where individuals can come in and play their part and play to their strengths, but also be challenged in some ways and learn a little bit. Me being an economics major, I'm kind of in political science, I'm kind of suited in those ideas and feel those are my strengths, but I've also been challenged in different ways in terms of marketing, kind of creating digital graphics and things like that. So I've definitely learned a lot and been challenged in so many ways. So I kind of generally speaking, I think anyone could come in here and learn a little bit and definitely have a great time and really kind of learn something about what they're interested in.
Awesome. As Theo mentioned, if you're interested in communications, public affairs, writing, business development, marketing, business law, economics, political science, any of these different types of disciplines, even mathematics, statistics, even in some cases science, there are definitely some opportunities. If you're interested, what we'll do is we will drop an email that you can send resumes to, or if you know someone that is interested in an internship for the summer. The last thing that I want to talk to you about, Theodosius, is when you first came in, you admitted, I know a little bit about the Chamber. What has been kind of, if you had to describe what the Chamber of Commerce is to somebody that doesn't know it, if you just bump into them and you get 60 seconds where you say, this is what the Fredericksburg Regional Chamber of Commerce is all about, what would you say?
I don't know if I'd need a minute. I'd probably just very plainly say the Chamber of Commerce is connecting with its community. And that community, such as Fredericksburg and surrounding areas, consists of so many different things. We have businesses, we have nonprofit organizations. There's so many different things within just one community. And I think the Chamber of Commerce kind of facilitates and fosters growth within those businesses and connecting people that can help others out. And kind of just striving to look forward in all aspects, obviously mainly economic growth, and kind of just facilitating opportunities, networking events, the gala, recognizing business leaders to kind of incentivize people to strive forward. I think that's what the Chamber of Commerce does, is kind of building up their community in any aspect they can, and as well as looking forward. So that was about a minute, but basically that's my summary of what a Chamber of Commerce does and what they represent.
No, I think you hit it right on the head. What we'll also do is we'll also drop Theodosius's email into the comments so that way if you guys have questions directly to him about his experience here, or if you want more information about the University of Mary Washington or anything like that, please feel free to reach out to him. And we thank you guys so much for tuning in. And if you need anything at all, we're here. Thanks, guys.